So last year, Google came out with one of their most successful phones in the Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL. And what their Pixel line has been known for, besides being basically a phone, is having some of the best camera technology in a smartphone. iPhones have always been super popular, but with the rise of Pixel, they've really been pushed the limits on a lot of stuff. Now, I've had iPhones for years, and I've been using the 3 XL a little bit since I got it last year. So, and looking at both of them, and it is very interesting to see how this technology has progressed. But the reason I'm bringing this up now, and you read the title of the video, Google came out with a new phone, the Pixel 3a, which essentially is a $399, $400 Pixel, but it kind of scaled back on some things to get it around this price. But with a phone like this right here, the 3a, you're getting something that has a lot of technology from the higher end 3 and the 3XL, for about $700, $800, $900. You're also getting the camera from that 3 and the 3XL in something like this. And once again, a lot of people buy stuff like this, these kinds of phones for the cameras and the technology. You can now get it for something under $400. Google did send this over for review, but they did not pay or compensate me anyway. They did just send this over like they did with the 3 and the 3XL. I covered that review. I'll link that down below. And in that, it was my first time really using a Google Pixel, and I was very curious to see how the camera was because it was touted as being the best ever for a smartphone. Now, this video is not about DSLR, mirrorless camera phones and everything. This is just about the 3A, its camera quality, kind of comparing it a little bit to the 3X, the 3XL to see if you're getting that same back camera, because this emits the desired wide angle front-facing camera, which I really didn't use a ton. It was a selfie feature, so it doesn't have that. But really the thing is, $400 camera or a little bit more, depending on the size that you want, being the same as the higher end, hundreds of dollars more. Let's talk about it. Now I want to bring up the 3 and the 3XL first, really quickly, because they really kind of added a very, very good build quality, something different, something that felt very, very, worthy. It also had, wireless charging, which was great. Dual front cameras. You had your normal selfie camera, but then it also had a dual one, which was more of a wide angle, so that you could have more friends, or they could group selfie shots and stuff in there. And then you have the legendary back 12 megapixel camera as well. And within that, you also had optical and electronic image stabilization. The Pixel 3 ran for about $700, starting, once again, all depending on the size that you want for storage, and the 3XL between $800 to $1,000. So yet again, that came down to, do you want the latest iPhone? Do you want the 3XL? Whichever one you want. So with this, once again, this is interesting because you do notice right off the bat that this is a very light phone. It is definitely a bit more plasticky compared to the 3 and the 3XL, which I'm absolutely fine with that. There isn't any wireless charging for something like this, which I think is fine for something like this as well. Because once again, you're paying for a lot of what you're getting in the higher end phone in something like this. But once again, coming down to the camera, yes, it still has image stabilization to an extent. You don't get that wide angle front self, but a lot of people mainly just use the back camera as it is, and it really doesn't change much from that. This is essentially this 3XL3 camera in this guy right here. And I must say, it is, once again, very, very easy to use. You have a fingerprint button on the back right here that you can use, open up your phone and everything. It's very, very good. The OLED screen on this phone is great. It's very accurate and representative of the colors that you're seeing. This does shoot 4K video, and it does also have that night sight built into it now, because when I first got the 3 XL, it was still kind of in beta at that time. It has the night sight right here, and once again, you do have to use like some kind of stabilization to actually use it, but what you can do outside with this is absolutely great, and it's probably one of the best things I've found in camera features, something Apple's not really even doing yet, but the night sight thing can really make it look like something at 1 or 2 in the morning, besides a couple street lights. I'll show you some examples. Makes it look like it's like just after sunset, like you still see light in the sky when it's really dark outside, and you get a lot of highlights and stuff that you shouldn't be getting because of the algorithm and stuff that they're using. Now, I don't know how much I could say differently compared to my 3XL review compared to this one, because it is a very similar camera, and it basically performs the exact same. I mean, the colors are fantastic. The focusing is very, very fast in regards to that. The only thing that I did notice in regards to performance is that to processing a photo, so the time you go from taking a photo for it to finish processing so you can officially review it, is a little bit longer compared to the actual, the more upgraded phone. So you do notice a little bit of that, but I don't think anyone's really cranking at these and very, very angry at that. You do notice just a little bit of that difference, but if you need something rapid like that, I mean, you can shoot burst, but just know that it might be a little bit delayed compared to the higher end phone. The only other thing I noticed, besides it again, the picture is great, the color that it takes and interprets is great, the display is amazing, is that it does have a little bit of a hard time focusing in like really dynamic situations. Now, it does good, you can raise shadows and stuff like that, and it looks very, very good. But when you have something, and it's just, I did a very thing where I just held out my one phone, and it was very, very highlight at the top and very dark at the bottom. It had a little bit of a hard time focusing with that. Same thing with the 3XL though, but I think the iPhone to an extent does a little bit better in those regards, in those situations. But if you're working in very dynamic highlight versus dark situations, just work on finessing that a little bit more and it might actually work out for you. Really, the only other thing besides that to cover is the portrait mode on this right here. And with the Pixel 3a right here, the portrait mode is actually very, very good. The artificial depth of field and, blurry background area, however you know it, is definitely, I really like the way it looks. You do get very, very circular bokeh balls, and it just looks very, very smooth. Now, the iPhone looks a little bit similar, but to me looks probably a little bit more fake. My daily driver is an iPhone, but I really like using the camera of the Pixel 3 XL, which I've had since I had it sent over. And in the same situation, I think it still looks a bit better than what Apple's putting out there. So the portrait mode actually looks very, very good. You don't see a lot of the fall off or feathering around it. Whatever the algorithm's doing, you see it blow out very, very well, and it looks very smooth. And once again, you get basically perfect circular bokeh balls, which a lot of people like. It doesn't look rough or anything. And just show you that it's really good. You get one of the best smartphone cameras on the market if it's something that you're looking forward to, and it shouldn't break the bank for you if that's all you're interested in. Because once again, I like what Apple does. They do get a little bit confusing on some things, but the UI on what you get with the Google Pixel phones are actually very, very good. So just saying, it is another smartphone with a fantastic camera that's definitely worth looking into if you're more on a budget. That's all I got right here. Any questions? Link it down below.